Let's get it. Sunday fun day. All right. Okay, I know you guys see a lot of boxes back there. I'm actually moving. Not gonna tell everybody, but we're actually moving to a house. So really excited for that. Yeah, I just give a little sneak peek. But we're actually gonna be moving out here uh in 2 months. Yeah, in 2 months we'll be gone. We'll be gone out of this place. So but anyways, let's get back to Sunday. Let's talk about the Sunday weekly analysis here for this week. And whoop, too many messages on Telegram. Hang on a second here. So I'm looking at the pound, but always start with the US dollar. Basically, what I'm looking for this week is for US dollar to do a retracement week, as in being a buy setup. And based on this previous candle, NFP was positive, and even though the U.S. has their government shutdown, I'm not worried about that. Once they get off the government shutdown, the U.S. dollar will do a major pullback, and so that is something that you really have to pay attention to, especially for this week. So maybe tomorrow U.S. dollar might just have a major pullback going back up again. So that's something to pay attention to, especially when the government shutdown is done. And like I said, the reason being, based on this previous candle here, it wasn't enough to sell, and also wasn't enough to buy. And you can see the wicks. Let me draw this out. This wick and this wick, very equal on the lengths of wicks here, especially for this candle. Almost very similar to this candle here. And it gets really confusing, because now you're looking at, okay, where is this price going to end up going for the end of Friday? And where I'm predicting where the US dollar might end up closing, probably if it doesn't close below 96, then eventually it's going to pull itself back up to 97. And those are your two prices pay attention to, the 97 and the 96. If it actually does close below 96, then my next target would be to come target 95.6 here, 95.6, and then the pinpoint to break on this structure here. And then if it actually does keep going down, then basically I would definitely be looking for to break 94. But ultimately, if it doesn't break below 96, eventually it's going to bounce back. It's going to do that is the pullback I'm looking for this week. So based on 96.2 right now on TradingView, I would probably be looking forward to try and retest 97. And then if they like I said, if they release the government shutdown and they're done with the shutdown, obviously the US dollar is going to have a major pullback. So that's, like I said, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is. So that's something to pay attention to for this week, especially for New York sessions. New York session is probably going to be the most volatile session for this whole week. At least I'm not diving into, like I said, I'm not really going to dive into every single pair here. And so, like I said, if the dollar is going to be a sell, obviously whatever the US dollar is in front, like USD JPY, USD CAD, USD Swiss franc, we're just going to sell it. And for that, I'm going to buy gold, I'm going to buy Australia, I'm going to buy New Zealand, I'm going to buy the pound, and I'm going to buy the euro against the dollar. So that is the most basic principle to always be mindful of, and to always look at that. And then remember that the correlations for each pair, sometimes correlations don't follow each other. So sometimes you're going to have to look at inverse setups. And so like what pairs are actually inversing with each other, and what pairs are not going with the correlation, or is not being correlated with the US dollar. And and what might happen to the European Union for this week, what could possibly happen this month for Brexit deal, because there is supposed to be another agreement towards the March compound. So in March they're supposed to come with some kind of agreement with that for the Brexit deal. And then Japan's got something going on. China and US, Mexico and Canada on the trade deals. tariffs. So oil prices as well. Oil is a key moving. So I was definitely pay attention to oil as much as I can for this upcoming season here, tax season. And then that's it. I mean, always stay ahead on your, I don't want to say fundamentals, but on the political side of each country. And you never know what happens to the government for each country, so never know. Like I said, based on the MyFX book now calendar here for this week. So let's see here. IV Purchasing Managers Index for Canada. I'd probably be more focused on the ISM tomorrow and the trade balance for Australia. Trade balance for the United States along with JOLTS. Wednesday is probably going to be the biggest advantage of taking advantage of Canada. So they got their interest rate decision here. Consensus is still 1.75, so that tells me that they're really not planning on doing anything for hiking another rate. So if they're not doing another rate hike, obviously it's gonna be, to me, I would sell it. I would sell CAD. That's just mine. Carney's speech, that is huge, especially for Bank of England here. He always moves the markets, especially for the pound here for his speech. And then Wednesday we have the FOMC minutes. So if you remember, non-farm payroll was positive, and then when 2 hours later Powell had his speech, and his speech was dovish. His speech wasn't hawkish. So obviously Powell is looking at changing up the policy here for the monetary policy, and he's not for sure about putting more rate hikes for this year. So this could probably be a game changer, and this might end up being a strong sell for the US dollar if the FOMC minutes does not sound hawkish for Wednesday. Thursday, Powell is speaking, so that would be the only thing I'd be paying attention to is Powell's speech for Thursday. And then Friday we have GDP for the pound, gross domestic product, and then consumer price index for US, and then that's it for Friday morning. So Wednesday is a key market mover, and you're gonna have to pay attention to right after the Canada's interest rate decision. I don't care about the interest rate decision. It's all about the rate statement and monetary policy report and the press conference. I really don't care about the rate decision. If they don't jack up the rate, obviously, what's point of buying Canada anyways? So always be prepared for the big day of Wednesday here. So, and then Thursday, Powell is speaking. And that, like I said, that would be the only thing we pay attention to. And then that's it. So Monday and Tuesday, not a whole lot going on. Always be prepared for New York sessions during Mondays and Tuesdays, especially when there's not enough high impact news. Because it falls back to the political. So always be aware of that. Other than that, guys, I wish you guys a really great, successful week of trading. Tune in tomorrow for my crystal ball contest for LMFX. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot. But anyways, really excited for the next move here to the house. And big things coming for this year. Obviously, we're only 6 days of the new year here of this month. So, and like I said, make sure every day counts, even if you're off on the weekends. Make sure you put in value in, you're making positive goals, you have a positive environment with positive people. And like I said, I'll forget the haters, forget the dollars. Don't worry too much about yourself, where you're at right now. Make sure these 3 months count so that you can make your next 9 months, or the rest of the 6 months to keep going consistently flow. So these first couple months is crucial, especially to start out for the new year. Other than that, much love for you guys, much respect for each and every one of you, and that's it.